Wednesday. Happy hump day to you. If you're in Europe, which is where Leo you are, I guess it's a holiday today.
Yes, it's May 1st here in Berlin. We were invited. I'm here to visit my partner, and we were invited to three different types of party. A rave starting at 10 a.m.,
Okay,
um, which meant we would be partying from 10 a.m. to like 8 p.m., which is actually kind of cool because you go home and you still go to bed, right?
that's my kind of rave. I'm old now, so that's
Um,
that's that's it.
so that was the first option. The second option was to go to a protest downtown where there's going to be cops, fights, pepper
Good.
spray, that kind of thing.
Love it.
And the third option was to go to the park and just lie down in the grass, read a good book, chat, enjoy the day. And we kind of went with the third option. So glad to be back and glad to be here.
Amazing, amazing. We're doing the. If you're joining us live, I don't know if you've ever been to a Lauryn Hill concert. I haven't, but she's notoriously very, very late getting on
Oh,
stage.
yeah?
Like if you follow Twitter threads for Lauryn Hill concerts, it's hilarious because like she'll come on, like the concert will start at 8. She won't come on until like 10:30, 11:30, like
What?
hours
No
late.
way.
Yeah, and it's like people get really pissed, but like people also know that this is like what's happening. So you follow the
Yeah,
threads, like updates. We've heard that she's washing her hair. We've heard that she's having lunch now. We've like it's really funny.
that's funny.
So we're not Lauryn Hill late, but we're a little late today. But we're enjoying
Yeah.
today. We're enjoying the time off. We're gonna talk about confidence today. And Leo, I know you have a good case study for this, and selling confidence, putting confidence. When we look at teachers' profiles, LinkedIn, etc., a lot of them
Hmm.
have the word confidence in it. We talk to teachers, a lot of them say, "Oh, I help people with confidence," which isn't a bad thing, of course. But I think where I want to start with this today is I know you've been on, I don't know how you describe it, a fitness journey, or you've gone to the gym
Hmm.
for, what is it, 60 days in a row or something
I
like
did
that.
61. Now I'm back to day one again. So, because
61.
I
Okay.
took a break. Yeah.
Did you start that by saying you wanted to be more confident?
No, no, not at all. That's the interesting thing, right? I I started because I started going to the gym every day, and on days that I don't go to the gym, or on days that I didn't go to the gym, I felt a little, lethargic, and I was like, I'm just gonna go. And on days that I don't lift weights, I normally just, stretch, do some body weight, do some cardio, walk uphill on a treadmill type of thing. And I'm usually now reading books. So I figured out a way to read while I'm on the treadmill, which has been a great way of habit stacking this for me.
Nice.
Um,
So why did you
but no,
start it? What was the impetus? What was the
yeah,
what
it,
was your, you now hopefully are in your desired situation, but 61 days ago, what was your current situation that you wanted to start this?
I just, to be honest with you, there was absolutely no specific reason why I wanted to do this. What started as like, oh, I've been to the gym. Like, you know what? I'm actually lying. I remember the reason now. The reason was very simple. I left Barcelona. I'm in a long distance relationship. So when I left Barcelona, I told my partner, I said, there'll be 56 days until we see each other. And she said, yeah. And she's like, are you going to count them down? I said, I will. And then I kind of realized that
Wow.
if I went to the gym every day, that would be a good way for me to keep that countdown very clear. And of course, it was easy for me to share this countdown on social media. A lot of people thought it was just me going to the gym every day, but for me, it was just a way to keep track of how time was moving. I don't know how many of you have been in a long distance relationship. It's long and there is distance. So those two things really make, especially when there's time zone differences, right? Like I'm
Right.
getting up, it's like middle of the afternoon here for her, you know. Same thing for you, like it's lunchtime and it's like
Yes.
almost like wind down time here.
Yes.
So that makes a difference. So that's why I started. But it's interesting because you were saying the thing about confidence. I want to ask you this question before we come back to this story, but it's good that people are actually trying to sell confidence. I don't think there's a problem with that.
No.
I think the problem is when you think that you can sell something that is really difficult for you to measure. You know, I
For
think you
sure.
I think the problem with the word confidence is that this confidence is going to lead to what? What's the desired state? And I think that's what we're trying to get at right
I
here.
think that's it, right? There's nothing wrong with selling confidence or using the word. I walk around my neighborhood, you do too, I'm sure. And everyone sees businesses using the word confidence as a hook to get people in the
Hmm.
door, right? I walk by a local gym and there's signs that say, learn to deadlift with confidence, right?
Hmm.
Perfect. But if I actually were to walk into the gym and ask them about it, like how do the classes work? They
Yeah.
probably wouldn't really say confidence. They would say the technique. They would say,
Hmm.
well, or they would ask me if they're really good at sales. They would ask me like,
Yeah.
well, what are your weaknesses now? Have you never done deadlifting and you want to start? Do you do
Hmm.
it and you struggle? If so, what do you struggle with? And kind of
Yeah.
quantifying and really honing down in on that, right? So no, it's not a bad thing. But how do you the problem is if you're selling something, how does your client know they've achieved the result that they signed up
Yeah.
for? Because
Yeah.
confidence at the end of the day is just a feeling. And
Hmm.
someone could just say, "No, I don't feel more confident," or "Yes, I do." But what is it that actually you're helping them to do? So it needs to be
You
some
know,
kind of
it's
quantifiable.
it's funny. I don't know if I told you this, but I taught this 7-week course at a college here, and the focus was on listening. And I told them, I said, what is the kind of transformation that you guys think we should go through in the next 7 weeks? A lot of them said, Leo, I really want to be able to understand listening. Like I want to understand spoken English. I feel like we struggle with that.
Hmm.
And of course, we spent 7 weeks on what I call a task-based listening course, which I
Okay.
am eventually going to be presenting on in the future. But the idea behind this task-based listening course, Andrew, was very simple. Is like I just wanted them to notice that their listening would improve because there would be traces. Again, going back to that conversation we had with
Sheila
Sheila
Thorne, yeah,
Sheila Thorne, when she
coming
talked
out
about like,
in a few months.
yeah, so when she was talking about that trace theory, I could actually see that trace theory in the students, but all we did was a lot of decoding exercises, a lot of listening to listening, and a lot of exposure and repetition, decoding, meaning building, that kind of thing. And Andrew, when I asked them on the last day, I asked them to tell me how they feel. They all said, I listen with more confidence. I feel more confident now. But
Interesting.
I never, but you see, the confidence was never the word that I used to sell that course, to sell that transformation. The confidence came as a result of constantly doing the same kind of, and I'm going to say this, it's a little bit tedious when you listen to someone just playing a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, and you have to try to like decode what that is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did that in a class recently too, where they just I played the same part of a video and nobody could get it. Nobody, they always heard like words that don't exist.
They like
And they were
that.
like, Andrew, what is it? Do it again, do it again. And I was like, that's not it. Let's listen again. But you're right. The confidence can be like, it's a marketing word, it gets people in the door. But like, if you really want to attract a specific type of client, one that you help, one that your program helps, you need to go a little bit deeper, right? So like, when someone says they don't have enough confidence, understanding from a business perspective, like what are they actually telling you? What are they actually
Hmm.
saying? Because if you attract a learner or a variety of 10 different learners who identify as saying, I don't have enough confidence, it could be for 10 different reasons. And that's where
Hmm.
you're going to end up having to customize everything for all of them because
Yeah.
you don't have a streamlined process or
Yeah.
product to walk them through, right?
Yeah. That's a
But if
good
you
point.
ask themselves, why do you lack confidence? Where do you lack confidence? In what areas are you looking to improve? Why does that affect you? And then you can put their answers in your marketing, and then you're going to be
Hmm.
attracting a very similar type of person for
Yeah.
whom then you do have that streamlined process. So it's a layer under the confidence. What's causing them to
Yeah.
feel like they don't have enough confidence? And that's the problem that you probably want to tackle.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's also important. I think we've talked about this quite extensively in I think in more informal conversations, perhaps, that that idea that confidence, like it's evidence. Evidence come we people think that confidence comes before evidence, but evidence comes
Yeah.
before confidence, which is the same thing like with listening. Like you can listen many, many, many times and still not improve your confidence listening to things. But if you have evidence now that you're able to understand and decode certain parts of the spoken English or spoken language, then you have evidence that you are actually getting better at doing this. And because you have this evidence, you start to push yourself a little bit harder and expose yourself to things that are slightly beyond your comprehension because you have developed that kind of confidence. So This is why I think,
Correct.
Andrew, when teachers are building a solution to a problem that they solve, that solution should not necessarily be just about confidence.
Confidence isn't the problem, right? Confidence is the
Yeah.
result of the problem. Confidence is
Yes.
the emotion that we attach to the thing that I can't do. So the
Exactly.
thing that you can't do
What the
is the
students said at the end.
exactly.
Exactly. Which I never sold them. Like, I'm going to improve your confidence in listening. No, I said, I'm going to help you understand spoken language so that you have confidence listening to conversation. As you said, the confidence is the result of
Or a
that.
lack of confidence is also the result, right? But
Yeah.
you're not gonna like if
Yeah.
someone like this statistic always amazes me. Like the two greatest fears, according to studies, that
Mm-hmm.
humans have. Number two is death. Number one is always public speaking.
Yeah.
Like, people are more afraid of public speaking than they are of dying, which okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. But if then based on that, the majority of people would say, I don't have confidence in public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then what are you going to sell that person to help them? Are you going to sell them, I will help you be confident in public speaking?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm interested. Like you've piqued my interest, but like the natural follow-up question is like, well, how? I'm terrified. I don't want to do, I can't do this. So what is the actual steps? What's the actual process?
Yeah.
And then in terms of niche or whatever, like public speaking could be a variety. Like, are you doing a TED talk? Are you just doing
Yeah.
classroom presentations? Are you a teacher who gets nervous in front of a
Pitches.
group,
Pitches.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's, and then those would each require their own kind of different processes, right? So
Yeah.
confidence in public speaking isn't, you're not solving the psychological element. You are over time, that'll be a result. But like, okay, so the first thing is when people don't have confidence or they get nervous, is because they don't have a plan. They don't know what to do. So let's tackle how you would start a talk or how you would envision standing or, whatever it would be.
Mm-hmm.
People avoid things when they don't know what to do. So
Maybe that's a question that the audience, maybe people who are watching this session, maybe they could try to answer this question.
yeah,
If you're not selling confidence, what can you sell that will lead to having confidence as a result of that?
exactly.
They need to collect evidence throughout throughout the journey of going from their current situation to their desired situation. They need evidence along the way that they are solving this problem, and then eventually they will have that
Yes.
confidence at the end.
Quick
Would you
wins
agree?
is what we call, absolutely. We call
Yeah.
that quick wins, right? Because like in language learning, if you're watching our lives for a long time, you're probably a little bit like, okay, you guys make sense, but first you say the problem you solve is not linguistic, so there's no language. Now you're saying there's no confidence. What is there? what is there, right? Exactly. It's not, it's neither of those things. It's really, that's where from a business perspective, really honing in on what your client wants and the problem that they currently have in getting
Yeah.
over that hump, right? Confidence will come. Think of any business that exists. Forget language for a minute. Just think of anything like dating. Does eHarmony or matchmaking services? Some of them say, I'll help you be more confident to meet the love of your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But unpack that. Like, if you really think about what that means, if you sign up with that service, what are they going to? They're not going to just like tell you how amazing a person you are so you feel better. No,
Yeah.
they're going to like learn about you and what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? What do you look for in a partner? This.
Yeah, they'll teach you how to start a conversation. They'll teach you how to be a good active listener and things like that. Yeah.
Right. It's in what hasn't worked for you in past relationships. What are your incompatible? What's incompatible for you? What's You're
Mm-hmm.
finding out all of these things, and then
Mm-hmm.
confidence may or may not come, and it can be for anything, right? My deadlifting example. Now, I've never deadlifted. I made a post about this the other day, but I've never deadlifted. I don't have confidence. Why would I not have confidence? Maybe because every time I do it, I hurt my back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe because I haven't been able to increase the weight ever, right? Or maybe
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know the proper grip technique, or I
Yeah,
don't
your
know,
form is bad. Yeah.
many
Yeah.
other things, right? And those are the things that lead me to a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
But a good trainer would understand that those are the items that I'm struggling with, and that would be the
Yeah.
process to lead
Yes.
me forward, right? So on a language element, whatever your niche is, whether it's IELTS writing, or whether it's business meetings, or whether it's negotiation skills, or public speaking, whatever it is, what are those items? The grip, my back hurting, not increasing my weight. What are those items that your ideal client struggles with? And those are the things
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to tackle.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. exactly. I was talking to, I had a meeting with one of the teachers who is in our community,
That's right.
in our TAP community, and we met here in Berlin. She's a Berliner, and we're having a conversation about her business because, to those of you who don't know, we have our Teacher Accelerator program, which is basically a program where we spend exactly 12 months working with you on your business. You get one-on-one coaching, you get group coaching, you have weekly calls, we have webinars, we have all kinds of things. I think Andrew can put the link here if you want to book a
Yep.
free strategy session with one of us, and we can talk more about your business and your goals, and we can help you strategize and eventually get there. So we were talking about her business, and she said, and then we eventually understood that the problem that she's having is that her tagline is German uh, German for Berlin lovers. And I said to her, the problem with this is that a Berlin lover could be a person who is just like in love with another person, you know? It could be, so we don't know who this lover is. Who are these
Hmm.
Berlin lovers? The Berlin lovers could be lovers of art, could be lovers of fashion, lovers of, you know?
Are they local Berliners? Are they tourists? Are they like you coming
So,
from somewhere
yeah,
else, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So eventually we understood that she wants to work with English speakers who live in Berlin, love Berlin,
Okay. There
and
you
would
go.
like to, communicate, like have basic communication. She's eventually, we talked about how the word confidence wouldn't work here. You want them to have basic communication strategies, or to basically communicate at a very basic level so they can get along and enjoy the city.
There
What
you
do you
go.
need to get along with people and enjoy the city? You need to be able to ask certain questions. You need to be able to greet. You need to be able to salute people. You need to be able to say your farewells. You need to be, what else? What else do you need to do when you ask prices of things? Say thank you. You know that
Prices,
those.
take an Uber, take a taxi,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah, yeah.
think
Like small talk. Yeah.
probably as well in a place like Germany, German people probably speak English fairly well, right? So I
Yeah.
imagine you would, if I went there and I started speaking German, people would very quickly switch to English to be polite, right? So I think
Mm-hmm.
if I was building my German skills, the signal to me would be when people stop switching to English.
Yeah.
When they actually like, okay, he's not German, but he's good enough to, okay, I'll humor him, right?
Yeah.
When they
Yeah.
would engage, because that happened to me in Spanish. Like there was one
Yes.
day
Oh, it
when
happens to everyone.
people
I
stopped
try to do my.
switching, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
then
tried my dentures years,
that would
and
make me
yeah.
feel good. That would give me some confidence. But it's not,
Yeah.
confidence isn't like a tangible thing. It would be like, there are
Yeah.
interactions that I'm doing.
It's the evidence.
Ah,
It's the
yes,
evidence. It's the evidence. So the evidence has to come before confidence. So I think that's the message for a lot of teachers here.
correct.
The evidence has to come before confidence, not the other way,
I like
not the
that.
other way around.
So if
And
you're using,
eventually she, yeah.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
And I said eventually we understood that she has to choose her statement to, I help English speakers who are lovers of Berlin to communicate so that they can enjoy. We have to still, of course, fine tune. This is a bit too
Yeah, it's a
long.
little wordy. Yeah,
Yeah, but basically, people who want to learn basic German so they can enjoy the city,
perfect,
and
right?
that's it. And that's
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay to use the word confidence in your LinkedIn profile and in your marketing because that will, like, someone will see that, like, oh, I'm not confident in this. Can you
Mm-hmm.
help me? But then when they, if you're doing your proper funneling and you're nurturing prospects before they ever meet you, right, they're going to learn exactly how you help people and
Yeah.
what that would mean. So, in this woman, in our client's case, right, giving them the vision of like, you understand their struggle. When they people don't, they just switch to English. They won't talk to them. They can't order food.
Mm-hmm.
They can't order a drink. They can't have small talk out and about with people, right? So those are the things that you would work with me on. Okay, no, that would be good. That would give me confidence. And then when you actually meet with these people, if you sign people up, by meetings or whatever, you know, you can just ask them and be like, a question I like is like, well, 2 months from now or 3 months from now, if if you did feel more confident in this, how would you know that? What
Mm-hmm.
specifically would be happening in your life in German, for example, that
Mm-hmm.
would indicate to you that now you have more confidence?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. You want evidence. Yeah.
whatever they answer, that's true of that person, and that's probably true of other people too. And that can
Mm-hmm.
become part of your messaging
Yeah.
for that kind of finding more people like that person. So,
Yeah.
If you're unsure of this, if you're listening, you're unsure of this, like a lot of this is just the research and development process of starting a business, right? Talking to
Yeah.
a bunch of people and looking for consistencies on those very specific questions.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's the beauty of working with us. A lot of teachers, before they decide to open their or to start their teaching business, they tell us that they don't have any confidence.
Yeah,
And what we tell them is very simple. Like, you don't have the confidence when you start your teaching business. You just need to get started. I even posted up something about running a business yesterday on Instagram, where we talk a little bit about this. It's like you put in a lot more than you get out of it in the beginning.
totally.
And you just have to be, you just, if you approach running a teaching business from a career mentality, you're going to quit very soon. But if you approach this as a vocation, as something that you really want to do because it inspires you, then go for it. Then really
Absolutely.
go for it, you know? Um, and again, you won't have confidence at first, but I think what we try to do with you in our Teacher Accelerator program, in our 5 and 30 program, in all of the resources that we offer in our newsletter, is we really try to help teachers understand that the confidence in their business, the confidence to run their teaching business effectively will come slowly as they eventually identify a problem. They eventually understand what a solution is. They craft the offer. Then eventually
Yeah,
we create a pilot together. They run that pilot. We craft, collect some testimonials. We make a few changes, iterate it, run a second pilot. And as you said, Andrew, we've had lots of teachers who have gone through this process who didn't have confidence before they started. And now that they have run it the first time and they're running a second time, they can see that it actually
it's
works.
through the evidence. Through the
Yes.
evidence. But that's also why you don't sell. Someone shouldn't sell confidence, because confidence is this thing where if you're running or starting and running a business, we experience this. It's an ebb and flow, right? Where you
Yeah.
have um, a challenge, and we call it the challenge solution cycle, right? So a teacher, oh, we've seen this a lot. Oh, I have no idea about email marketing. Don't even know how to start. Okay, great.
Yeah.
We solve that. They feel good. They get some confidence. But then what happens? Oh my God. But now what? And then the confidence is gone. You have to start again. Now the next challenge
Yeah.
is how to actually get sales from your email list, right? Oh, okay. And then they do that. Now they have more confidence. And then, oh my God, but what's the next step? So it's always, and language learning is the same, right? Your learner or a person acquiring a language will have moments of high confidence because they've overcome that challenge. But then what? Then the confidence
Yeah.
goes down again because they can see the next challenge. And that's
Yeah.
normal. So what you sell in the process of helping someone along the journey needs to be more quantifiable in terms of evidence and interaction, because
Hmm.
confidence is, it comes and goes. It comes and goes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good way
I
to
think
wrap
so.
it. Yeah.
One, maybe in the next live we can talk about what's achievable within a program, because we get lots of questions on how long a course should be. Should it be 4 weeks? Should it be 8 weeks? Should it be a year? Andrew, it will take me a year to help this person learn the language. That might be true, like pedagogically speaking, but in terms of a business structure, a year, no, don't do a language course for a year. You'll kill your business, your revenues that way. So maybe a live we can talk about, how to structure that, because learning a language never ends, really. So you're not helping someone learn a language. That goes with confidence. You're helping someone achieve a very specific
Hmm.
objective, right? And
Yeah.
get, as you said, getting a quick win, that builds some confidence.
Yeah.
And then what? And then you can offer for them to continue learning with you within your program or membership or whatever you have, um, onwards from there.
Give it a title. Give it a title, and then it'll be the next one.
Done.
And if you're watching this, don't forget, we have our webinar coming up next Wednesday
Yes.
with Tim Ware,
Very
on
excited about that.
atomic habits and atomic classroom habits.
Atomic Classroom Habits. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Very, very good. I think he's given a talk like this in Europe, in Barcelona, actually, before, and people have been saying it was awesome. So really excited for that next week. Check out our newsletter if you're subscribed to that, or the post on LinkedIn for the link. We'll be sending out reminders to register.
Yeah.
It's a free session.
Yeah.
Um, if you're in our TSN community, or then the link is there to register as
You,
well, just in the calendar.
you know what else is free? To book a strategy session with us.
True.
We ask you a few questions just to help us understand the kind of problem that you currently have. And then when you come to the call, we will strategize this together. No pressure. You just have to book a call with us. We would love to talk to you. So,
Absolutely. There's a
yeah.
QR code in the top left. It says chat with us. So if you're watching this, just scan the code and you can book a time with Leo or me or Mike that suits your schedule, and we can go from there. All right,
All
Leo.
right.
I know it's a holiday. You're in a beautiful park. I'll let you go. Enjoy
All
it,
right.
and see everyone next time.
I hope the weather gets better there.